Hello, this one is a fun one that I call the Cotter press. And the reason I call it the Cotter press is because no one ever taught it to me and I had never seen it before. So there's probably people in the world that have done this or something similar that I'm unaware of. So I'm naming this basically after my family lineage and calling it the Cotter press. I consider it a fun lift because it's not something that I would necessarily put in a training program. I view it's a view on how I like to look at mobility. So let me show it to you and then I'm gonna break it down and you can decide if it's something that you want to develop as a skill. And there's a lot of different variations of that I do. And so that's something that I consider mobility, because what is mobility? Mobility is the ability to mobilize, the ability to move. And when we're using it in a strength conditioning and an overall fitness component, we would usually define mobility as strength in motion. So what we're doing in this exercise is combining a strength exercise, which is the press, with a mobility, which is the moving around. And is it a circus trick? No. Is it useful? Well, that's something you have to decide. And so we have the agility, you have the ability to move kind of very easily and very freely in this low position. So is that of value to you? That's something you can decide for yourself, okay? So how do we get to that point? Because it's about, at 50 years old, I'm still doing this, I'm not injuring myself. It's about the longevity, it's about the sustainability, which is gonna come from execution of effective and safe biomechanics, not injuring yourself. So what's the component parts here? Well, we definitely have a squat. You have a squat, and then I'm doing it more like a Hindu squat where I'm up on the toes because I want the balls of the feet, because I want to have that easeability, that ease of motion, okay? But it's a squat or a Hindu squat, so you have that. And then we have a press. So with the kettlebell, you want to feel comfortable squatting and then also being up on the toes here. You want to be comfortable pressing. You got to be able to press it. And then from there, other skills. So we have a squat, we have a press, a couple variations of the squat, Hindu squat. Okay, now we have an overhead squat. So you have that stability. Okay. And then we have the ability to press from that. And then there's the movement. There's the movement. So you have the ability now in a squat. We have that movement and we have that ability. Okay. So there's agility, it's under load. You take the load, can you move really easily? Yes. Well, comparatively speaking, you can move a lot easier. Now, if you want to make it a part of your training, then of course, you're going to progress it, which either means more volume, more reps, more time, the endurance, and or moving heavier loads, more on the strength, okay? So then you're putting all that together. We have the squat. We have the squat with the movement clockwise, counterclockwise, all directions, right? You have left, right, you have forward and back, you have the control, that center of mass, base of support, ease of motion. Okay, and then you have the press, you have kind of the overhead squat stability where you feel like you can stay here, and you have the press in that. And then you're putting it together. If you like it and you want to show it, you want to ask questions, I can also show you some progressions to just other ranges of motion. And again, not everything has to be a competition lift. Not everything has to validate someone else's idea of exercise. There is a component and a space for play, movement exploration, and then how can I apply this? How can this be a useful skill in my life, in my sport, whatever is your battle or your joy, okay? So from here, I have those reps so I can stop it, right? It's not like I have to move, but you have the ability to move. And the freedom, the control. Okay, so that's the Cotter press breakdown. Let me know how you like it, and tune in next time. Check out my other videos. If you want to train directly with me on Zoom, find me on Instagram, Steve Cotter, IKFF. Send me a DM, and we can talk about that.